In the icy mountains of there exists a creature that everyone must fear. Turkey, where nature is at its harshest. Wild boars. With a thick layer of fat and a dense, they not only endure the freezing cold, but also thrive each winter. A coat of fur that help them survive the heart makes them a nightmare for the locals. But it is this intense vitality that we set out to face the real challenge. Today, we are not just setting out to hunt, where every step holds a hidden danger. Where the battle is not only between a life and death journey through the deep forest, confrontation with the dangers of the wild nature. Humans and beasts, but also a rifles, hunting knives, infrared binoculars. We prepared in silence. Cold weather jackets, the click of bullets chambering, the creak, each item was carefully inspected. No one said much. The -5 of leather straps tightening on our shoulders. Our world. Yet in everyone's eyes burned a fierce fire. 15-degree cold felt like it froze the entire. The hunting dogs began to howl. They had caught the scent of. I gripped the rifle stock tightly, what we were after. The tracks were close. Then that dark figure appeared. A massive my heart pounding in sync with the dog's footsteps. Roots. I took steady wild boar, tearing through the snow in search of forest. I held it in my chest. My finger tightened on the trigger. The shot thundered through the forest. The beast jolted violently, then crashed to the ground, snow exploding all around. Aim. My breath raced, but I weighed 200 kilos, a solid mass of muscle capable of smashing through a wooden wall. As we got closer, we realized it weighed nearly. Many stronger beasts were still hiding. In that moment, the whole group let out a sigh of relief, but no one smiled, because we knew this was only the beginning. Out there, fall heavily, the tracks vanished beneath the blanket of white. By late afternoon, the snow began to. Beside the small fire, everyone recalled the tense moments. Unable to continue, we returned to camp. Victory, deep down, everyone knew we had just experienced. Though we had claimed of challenges waiting for us, the forest still held countless challenges. This time we decided not to use the hunt. A new day began, rely on experience, intuition, and sharpness. Hunting dogs. Everything had to until even the sound of the wind made us startle. The deeper we went, the quieter the forest became, warm with steam rising from it. The animal had just passed by. My heart beat faster. I bent down. On the snow, a faint footprint appeared. It was still slowly. Then through the white mist, a figure appeared. Huge, fierce. There was no time to think. We moved forward slowly. A streak of bright red blood spread across the white snow. A scene both brutal and cold. I quickly took aim and pulled the trigger. The gunshot rang out, and the beast collapsed instantly. We hadn't even caught our breath when the ground began to shake. The forest stirred. Suddenly, a herd of wild boars charged out like a flood. I shouted out for Leon. His gunfire echoed from the mountainside, each shot sharp and precise, stopping the lead beast. Gunfire erupted in rapid bursts. I brought one down, but the rest quickly scattered like phantoms. In its tracks. The air was thick with the smell of gunpowder and our ragged breaths. From the cold. No one said a word, but in our eyes we all knew the battle was far from over. When everything finally settled, we slumped against the base of a tree. Our breath came out in white clouds, our hands trembling.
Dur. At.
Visibility dropped to less than 10 meters, but the mission wasn't finished. The third day greeted us with a blizzard, where locals had reported fresh tracks. The wind howled in our ears, snow, and we had no choice. We split into two groups and moved deep into a narrow valley. Snow lashed against our faces, and every step felt as heavy as carrying stone. Suddenly, from ahead, a massive wild boar emerged. Its eyes burned red, breath streaming like smoke, its fur crusted with ice. It charged at us like a living storm. I took aim and fired. The bullet grazed it, but didn't stop its charge. The distance closed to just a few meters. My heart felt like it. I drew my pistol, but my hands trembled from the cold and the tension. It would explode. Again, the beast staggered, then crashed to the ground right in front of me. At that moment, Leon burst out from the mountainside. His rifle flashed again, and a cold seemed to vanish. Only one truth remained: we had survived. In that moment, we burst out laughing. A shaky laugh, part relief, part fear. The -20 white, and the trail disappeared within minutes. We dragged our hard-earned trophy. On the way back to camp, the snow began to thicken rapidly. The wind howled through the trees. The ground turned completely, believing the day's challenges behind us. Exhausted but relieved, were finally over. But nature fiercely, straining at their leashes. Everyone came to an abrupt halt. Then suddenly, a herd of wild boars burst out of the woods like a rage, gave no warning. From the slope beside us, a series of rapid noises echoed through the forest. The hunting dogs barked scent of the previous kill. Waterfall, at least 5 of them, massive and frenzied, likely driven wild by the herd, charged straight toward the transport group, the spot with the fewest guns. Shouts rang out as everyone scattered instinctively. The situation unfolded in an instant. Snow exploded into the air as the entire lead bore with a single shot and creating an opening. I spun around and fired a clean frontal shot at the second one barreling toward us. On the right flank, Leon reacted like lightning, dropping the... Short bursts of gunfire echoed one after another. The herd fell into chaos. A few turned and fled, while the rest collapsed. It all lasted less than 20 seconds, but everyone's hearts were pounding like war drums. There was no plan, lapsed onto the snowy ground. Instincts in the heart of the wilderness. No ambush, just pure survival blanketed in snow. No words were needed. We all understood. There was no room for hesitation here. The wind howled through the trees and the ground lay blank. But out there, in the endless forests, the wild boars remained. They would return, fiercer and more relentless. This hunt had come to an end. The threat before us had quieted. For now, protect the farmers, safeguard the crops, and preserve the balance of nature. Every step we took followed the law, and above all, we put safety first. This was more than just a hunt, it was a responsibility. We acted to will not end, for the frozen mountains and forests still hold many mysteries, many challenges. This journey and many stories yet to be told. Make sure to hit like, subscribe to the channel. If you want to keep joining us for more thrilling and unpredictable journeys, and turn on the notification bell. See you on the next adventure, where every moment is a razor-thin line between life and death.